What's going on, guys? Welcome. My name is Paul Cooley, and you are on the King's Code Facebook page. I thought what I would do is a quick test. I'm testing out some new software for doing Facebook Lives, but I thought, well, hey, I don't want to just get on and do a test. I want to actually give you some good stuff going into the new year. As you know, at the time of this Facebook Live, it is New Year's Eve. And we're going into 2020, and I am excited about what the new year holds and what all God's going to do. But I want to kind of go through a process or a flow that I found works well when it comes to ensuring that we have a vision for what we're doing this coming year and really setting up goals. And really, we don't talk too much about goals. We're talking about more or less targets, very specific, very precise targets, and not going at just goals as a shotgun approach, but going at them laser focused. And so hopefully you guys can see me, hear me. Like I said, I'm testing out brand new software here, so hopefully this works. If you guys are interested and like the format here, I am testing out a program called Ecamm. Ecamm Live, I believe it's ecamm.com. They've got a really cool program. It allows you to do a bunch of cool stuff. So this is my first time using it, so you have to bear with me here. And feel free to comment, let me know if you can hear me, can't hear me, all that good stuff. But like I said, what I want to do I spend just a couple minutes real quick going over my process and what I do for multiple teams to ensure that we're moving forward in each quarter, ensuring that we're hitting the targets, not doing the broad shotgun approach, but really being laser focused in what we do. So with that being said, I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you, and hopefully you'll be able to see this. So the first thing that is very, very important, and you guys have, I'm sure, heard this before, and that is you got to make sure that you are clear on the end result that you want. If you don't know where you're going, you're never going to know if you got there. So being clear on the vision. And as the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And as I have, I'm sure you have found it to be true as well in any area of life, whether it's business, marriage, working with teams. If you don't know where you're going and what the end result looks like, you're never going to know if you're implementing the proper steps to get there. So with that being said, let me try it. I'm going to attempt this. Well, hopefully this will work. All right, I'm sharing. I don't know if this is full screen or not. Again, you have to bear with me just a minute here. Let me see if I can pull this off. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I wonder. Okay, can you guys see that? I'm not too sure if you can see this or... Oh, there we go. All right, guys. I will get the hang of this. So, as you guys hopefully all are very aware, it starts with a vision. Now, those of you that have gone through the King's Code 21-Day Challenge, you should be familiar with this document right here, which is the King's Vision Map, ensuring that you are clear, once again, on the vision of what it is that you are doing, what you're going after inside of the 4 quadrants that we talk a lot about, inside of your faith, inside of your marriage and your family, inside of your business and finances, and inside of your health. And often, I was at the gym actually this morning with my wife, and it's packed, right? Because people are doing their New Year's resolutions. And it's been said that people that do New Year's resolutions really only about 2% actually complete and follow through with that resolution. 2%. I mean, that's horrible. So that's why we're not doing resolutions. We're not doing broad, vague shotgun goals. We're going after targets. And it starts with having a vision on what the end result is that you're going for. So it starts with getting that part down, nailing that down. We're not going to spend time going through this, but those of you that have that document, got to make sure you use it. The second thing that I want to show you now is a document. Let me see if I can bring this over here. Ooh, there we go. Isn't that nice? Hopefully you guys can see this. So this is the 90-day target sheet that we use when, especially in the beginning part of basically talking with our team, right? And if any of you guys want this, it's a Google Doc. I'm more than happy to share this with you. But here's basically how this works is once you're clear on what the target is, and we go for 90-day targets here. So in 90 days, I need to accomplish what? Whether it is I need to accomplish, let's say, a challenge funnel for my business, or I need to create a membership, including the offer and all that stuff. Maybe in 90 days, I want to lose X amount of pounds. Maybe in 90 days, I want to be able to get my marriage or my relationship with my kids to a certain level and being clear on what that level looks like. Maybe in the next 90 days, I want to make sure that my relationship with God is growing. And in doing so, when you're clear on what the end result is, I want to, enrich my relationship with God. Well, what does that actually look like? Often I've found, because we think in pictures, that we have an idea of what it's supposed to look like. And usually maybe it's based on what we've seen other people do or whatever it may be, but we have some kind of picture. Once we're clear on what the target is, in any specific quadrant that we're talking about, then what I'm doing is I am going in and filling out this 90-day target section right here. So, we could change the date, whatever it is. By the end of this 90 days, whatever that 90 days will be, and then we fill in what that target is supposed to look like. Let's just pretend it was some kind of, product launch or a webinar funnel or a presentation funnel or something, well, just for examples here. So if that was the case, we get clear, we write it down. We visit this weekly, and actually twice a week. I'll get into that in just a minute here. Then what we do, though, is as a team, we then sit down and go, okay, what are the actual steps now? Because we know where we need to go. Just like a GPS, just like a roadmap, we know where the destination is. But now, what are the directions that we need to take to get to that destination, get to that end result? And this is where the steps come in. This is where we say, okay, well, first there's maybe a planning phase, and then there's the execution phase. But what are the actual steps that we need to do each day and each week to ensure at the end of those 90 days we're going to hit our target? So this is what we begin to fill this out and go through the actual steps. Now, I really enjoy this process, and what I've found is it's very easy, and especially depending on the team that you have. And if you're doing this by yourself, that's totally fine too. But if you have a team, it's interesting due to certain personalities and just thinking patterns and so forth. You'll get people on your team that will go super, super detailed to a degree that you don't need to go just yet. Now, I do believe you got to get there, but first you want to start a little higher altitude and really map it out in a very realistic approach, going, okay, 90 days. So how do we break this up? And then we can go deeper, and then we can go deeper and actually go into the finer details of what each step, what each detail looks like, and then who's going to be executing those steps. And so I found this to be extremely accurate, or helpful, I should say accurate, but helpful when planning this out, because it brings clarity and it brings focus. And that is something that a lot of people struggle with. Then what I do, because I'm not a guy that likes to visit a Google Sheet every day. I like to use systems and the tools that are available to us, whether it's OmniFocus. I'm an OmniFocus fan. I got it on my computer, on my phone. But also I'm a big Trello fan as well. And so I use those two things to really ensure that when there are steps or tasks that have a due date on it, that I know, hey, this needs to be done by this date, I want to utilize the tools. I don't want to just rely on a calendar and so forth. So what I do, and this is just another example, this is a Trello board now, and this is an example of what we would do. Hopefully you guys can see this too. Let me know if you can't. But basically, this has not been touched. This is just an example of one here. But you're going to go through now based on the target, based on the steps. Now you can really figure out, okay, in the next 90 days, maybe you do this. This is week 1, week 2, week 3, however you really want to make this work for your team. But what's nice is now you can start opening up the different cards and going through the actual steps that you need to do. Obviously, then you can assign it to somebody, have a due date on it, check-ins, and so forth. Which leads me to my last step. So I'm almost done here, guys. The last step that I really really encourage you guys to do is then go through each week. We do a Monday and usually a Friday meeting. For some teams, it's a Thursday. But on Mondays, we check in. We all get on the same page. We're clear on what each one of us is doing for that week and what the target is and the steps are that we're supposed to execute that week. Then on Thursday or Friday, we meet again, we regroup, and we go through, okay, what were the obstacles? Where are we at? What were different obstacles, roadblocks, hindrances that got in the way this week? And what can we do to course correct to ensure that next week is an absolute win? So there are plenty of variations to this for sure. But I really hope, guys, that this is just, kind of gets you in the thought process of what it takes to start rising up and doing the thing that needs to be done. And this is the perfect time of year. Everyone's talking about, oh yeah, how this year's going to be different and better and all this. Well, that does not happen on accident. It happens by being on purpose. And that is something that we really drive home inside of the King's Code. So I encourage you guys, if you have not partaken in anything King's Code related, definitely check out kingscodechallenge.com, and also be sure to join our King's Code Arsenal Facebook group. Now you're on the page, but I'm saying get on the group because we're going to be doing much more trainings like this, much more in depth, covering many different topics inside of that group. So be sure to check that out, request access to that. It's on the Facebook page, the King's Code Facebook page, and you can request access. So I hope that was helpful, guys. I wish you guys the best of success in 2020, and I am excited to see what the new year holds. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. And if you would like a copy of that Google Doc, more than happy to give it to you. So guys, God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. And now I got to figure out how to stop. There we go. All right, guys, take care.